Okay, I'd like to talk about an interesting problem working with Kevlar. Now, Kevlar is incredibly strong, but it does fray very, very easily. And it's really hard to tie a knot when the end of it is fraying. Also, if the end of it frays, the individual threads might pull through much more easily than if it did not have that fray. So in other words, if you have a nice solid cord end, it's highly unlikely that's going to pull through the knot. So I'm just going to cut this right now. And we can see that this cord has already frayed on the end a little bit. Now, if we try to tie a knot with this and we just move this around a little bit, you can see it does fray a lot. It's now in the situation where it's very difficult to tie the knot right at the end. A trick to solve this problem is right after you cut the cord, is to use the cyanoacrylate glue, the CA glue, and put a very, very, very small drop on the end of it. And the small drop, I used to put it on the end and I'd kind of draw it back in. But now there's a little bit of glue on the end. So now that we have the cyanoacrylate on the end, we do a little trick. This trick I actually found on a channel called Dave Thomas's Rocket Engineering and Research, where you take the cord right after you put the glue on it and you just simply squeeze it with a paper towel. Okay? If you look at this, I can touch it because now it's already hardened. There's something in the paper towel that will cause the glue to instantly harden. So the glue now has instantly hardened all the way inside, and the end of this now is very stiff. So we now have a nice solid end, and now we can tie a knot very, very easily without this fraying and popping apart. So this is important. Again, if you're tying a knot and you've got your knot really, really close to the end, if you have the individual fibers sticking out, those can pull through the knot, but it's really unlikely that it's going to pull through if everything is glued together into one solid end like this. So again, treating your Kevlar cut cords with cyanoacrylate, using a paper towel and just simply squeeze it. You don't have to squeeze it very hard. Matter of fact, squeeze it fairly light because you don't want to take all the glue off. But this will remove the excess on the outside and triggers a polymerization reaction where the glue will instantly harden and the glue now is hardened. And I can just go ahead and tie my knot. So that's really nice. Cut it, put the glue on, touch it with this, and just continue working. You don't need to wait for the glue to dry. There are some situations that I've seen where wood glue is used. I do not recommend using wood glue. Wood glue does not wick into the Kevlar. CA glue is very, very good at wicking into things, and it wicks into the Kevlar. So a drop on here will immediately soak in, much like it does to your skin, whereas wood glue does not. So again, use the cyanoacrylate. When you use it properly, it works perfectly for this situation.